Don't hate your life. Once upon a time, there was a peaceful village, surrounded by fields of beautiful flowers. There lived an old lady named Miss Mary in that village. Miss Mary was living there for past 60 years. She had spent her entire life in that village. Miss Mary was tending to her beautiful garden for almost past 50 years. Her garden filled with vibrant flowers, fragrant herbs and delicious vegetables was the pride of the village. But sometimes Miss Mary felt that her life was insignificant and sublunary. She envied the adventurers who traveled the world and the inventors who created amazing things. One day early in the morning, while Miss Mary was planting new plants in her garden, she noticed that a young boy named Alan, watching her from the fence with curiosity in his eyes. Miss Mary greeted warmly to Alan and invited him to help her in the garden. As they started work together in garden, Miss Mary shared the stories of her life in the village with Alan. She talked about the joy she felt in planting seeds and watching them to grow, and the happiness of sharing her bounty with her neighbors. Also talk about satisfaction of harvesting fresh production of flour, vegetables and fruits. After they finished work in garden, Alan said, "Miss Mary, your garden is magical. By your hard work and dedication, you make the village beautiful." Listening to these words, Miss Mary said thank you to Alan, and also said, "My boy Alan, but sometimes I feel my life is very ordinary compared to others." Listening to this, Alan looked thoughtful for a moment, then said, "I want to show you something." Alan led Miss Mary through the village. They visited different homes, and at each stop, someone came out with a story to tell. One woman came at her doorstep and told how Miss Mary's herbs healed her child's illness. An old man shared how Miss Mary's flowers had brightened his days after his wife passed away. Then Alan took Miss Mary toward the square of village, where a flowers exhibition was arranged by villagers. Upon reaching there, Alan said, "We villagers say thanks to you in this way. All these flowers at this exhibition are production of your garden, Miss Mary. You have touched all our lives in a way you may not see, but we see it and we are grateful to you." Seeing all this, she realized that her life was far from ordinary. Her garden was not only a collection of plants, but also a source of life for villagers. From that day on, Miss Mary embraced her life with a new sense of purpose and joy. She tended to her garden with more love and care. Miss Mary knows that every seed she planted in her garden is a source of life for her villagers. And so Miss Mary's story became the testament that a small action every day had a great impact. She learned to live happy each day by nurturing her garden, and never again doubt the worth of her life.
Like, comment, and subscribe.